How many times have you told yourself that you're going to follow this particular diet, that you're going to do everything exactly like you need to with your food, but you just can't seem to follow what you're telling yourself? You keep giving in to the cravings over and over again. In this video, I'm going to explain why, okay? So the two main causes of cravings are going to be either emotional turbulence or emotional conflict at the time when your craving develops, or it's going to be some type of organism inside you that is trying to drive your food cravings or food preferences. And, you know, it could be one or the other, it could be both. But often what I found, most often, it's going to be that something comes up emotionally that reminds you of something that is an emotion that's not been dealt with. There's something in the subconscious that gets triggered. You see something, you observe something that reminds you of something that's uncomfortable. And when you feel uncomfortable, you don't know how to go ahead and deal with it. So most of the time people go for something they could consume or take to make themselves feel better, because that's what they've been conditioned into doing. So the reality is, you know, the main things that are causing these cravings, that are causing this inability to stick with the diet, are often hidden subconscious emotional stuff that you have not dealt with in the past. And this stuff starts coming to the surface as soon as you lose your coping mechanisms. You lose the foods that you used as coping mechanisms. So before you would go ahead and, you know, be able to eat that sandwich, right? But you stopped eating bread, and now it's like, wow, I don't have my food to calm down at lunch. Now I'm eating a salad. Well, salad is not making me feel good. Salad's not, you know, making me cope with any emotional issues. It's not increasing my dopamine levels, etc. You know, so there's no instant gratification from some of these things anymore, and it leaves you in a place where you can't cover up this subconscious conflict anymore with something you're consuming, right? The other side of it is, if you have a chronic illness, okay, you have a chronic health issue, and you keep consuming these things over and over again, clearly there's emotional conflict. But on the other side, there could be an organism inside you that is influencing your decisions. You know, I had parasites, I had bacterial issues, I had Candida overgrowth. And when I was going through these things, they clearly influenced my dietary choices. For example, when I had Candida overgrowth, I was craving sugar. I was craving sweets like crazy, all the time, right? When I had bacterial issues, you know, I was craving bacterial and parasitic issues. I was craving meat, okay? I was craving animal products. That was the only thing I was really craving. So if you have these cravings that you keep getting into, your thoughts about food, and you're kind of just, they keep repeating, and you eventually just give into it, you don't even realize you did it almost, then this is often something that's driven by some parasite or some type of organism in your body that's trying to get you to eat these things to support its growth. If it's late night eating, if it's eating right before bed, that type of thing, right? So if you're dealing with food cravings, you can't seem to follow the diet. You know, why? Why can't you do it, right? Often it's because of nervous system dysregulation due to emotional conflict, unaddressed emotions, subconscious stuff. It could also be, as I said, pathogenic. Pathogens that are trying to manipulate your behavior, because once I finally got healthy, the cravings were gone. You know what I mean? I stopped craving things that were unhealthy for me, because I had mostly good bacteria in my gut, and what they wanted was more plant fiber, more carbohydrates. They didn't want meat. They didn't want processed food. They didn't want all that crap. So thanks for watching, everybody. Go to my website, endsickness.org. I got hundreds of articles and videos teaching you how to heal yourself. Nothing like it on the internet. Take care.